Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Browning Cinema. My name is Ted Barron. I'm the Senior Associate Director here at the DeBartolo Performing Arts Center. We're very pleased that you could join us for tonight's presentation of Calvary. We're presenting this as part of our annual semester-long series with the Nanovic Institute for European Studies. We're grateful to the Nanovic Institute for all of their support of contemporary and classic cinema here at the Browning. This is the last film in our series this semester, but we'll be picking up again when classes start up again in the fall with a new series of films which will highlight films dealing with realism and immigration and a variety of issues. So we're really excited about films that we'll be announcing, that should be announced over the summer. We're working on some really special guests that we're hoping to share with you soon. We also want to let you know that we have lots of other great events coming up here, even though the semester is coming to an end. We still have a pretty full slate of films running well into mid-May, including the Michiana Jewish Film Festival, which will be running from May 11th through May 14th. And among the films featured in that is a film titled Get, The Trial of Vivian and Salem, which is a film that was a submission from Israel for the Academy Awards this year, a really powerful kind of docu-fiction work. One of the reasons why we look forward to our presentations with the Nanovic Institute is their work with their fellows and scholars here on campus, bringing in folks from outside of campus as well as working with faculty here. And we're grateful tonight to have one of our Notre Dame faculty members to introduce tonight's film. She is the chair of the Irish Languages and Literatures Department here at Notre Dame. She's also a concurrent faculty member in the Department of Film and Television. And what I'm really excited about is that she's recently completed a documentary film about 1916 in Ireland, which we're looking to show here next year at the DeBartolo Performing Arts Center. More details to come. Not only an accomplished filmmaker, but a wonderful scholar and just a great person to have introduce tonight's film. So please join me in extending a warm welcome to Professor BrÍona Nic Dhiarmada.
Thank you, Ted, for that really wonderful and generous introduction. There's a saying in Ireland which says, follow that. But I'll do my best. I wasn't going to mention the fact that we were doing a documentary series in 1916, but Ted did, so I am grateful for mentioning that. But it does have a connection with tonight's film, because the score, really wonderful, haunting, dramatic score, is written by an Irish composer called Patrick Cassidy, who is based in LA, but he's from Ireland originally. He is currently in Dublin working on our documentary, so we were absolutely thrilled to have such a well-known, such a prestigious composer associated with our project, which is emanating from the University of Notre Dame. So that's my main connection, I have to say, with Calvary. But I'm very delighted to be here to introduce this film. It's absolutely wonderful. You have a roller coaster ahead of you, I think. It's, of course, the second film of John Martin McDonagh, who's the writer and director of this. His previous film was called The Guard. I'm not sure how many of you have seen it. Absolutely hilarious, absolutely filthy in terms of its language, darkly comedic, I think. And he continued on, and this was not, he said himself, this was not going to be The Guard Mark II, but he did carry over the main actor, Brendan Gleeson, who is one of Ireland's most incredible character actors. I mean, he really fills the screen. Any of you who have seen him before, and indeed those who haven't seen him before, are in for a treat. He really is a compelling presence on screen. And I think the opening scene in this will really, really clarify for people and bring it home what a wonderful screen presence and actor that Brendan Gleeson is. It's set in the west of Ireland. It's been variously described as a spiritual saga. One of my favourite descriptions of this movie was someone who described it as the Stations of Cross as a postmodern Cluedo. Go figure that one. It's a darkly comedic film. I mean, it's hard, you would not call it a comedy. Someone has described it as a dramedy. It's kind of a. It's a deeply spiritual film, though. It's a deeply serious film, I think. It's a deeply moral film, but it also has a profound sense of the absurd. The dialogue, indeed Martin McDonagh, who's the brother of John Michael McDonagh, who's again an incredible playwright, but they have this deeply dark vision, and it's also a very interesting film insofar as that it's set in rural Ireland, in Sligo in the west of Ireland, a very, very beautiful place. it's portrayed in the cinematography is absolutely wonderful, I think. McDonagh himself said that this is not an Irish film per se, that it could be set in a small town in Spain. I'm not sure that I totally agree with that, because the current conditions in Ireland, it's people have described it variously as post-Catholic. It certainly has gone through a spiritual trauma with all of the church scandals, which of course this film deals with head on. But it's also a film about redemption, and a film about a country that's somewhere in danger of losing its soul, and yet you have good men ready to stand up. So, as I say, it's a very, very compelling film. I'm going to kind of shut up now because I think people will want to watch it. But I'm going to finish with the words of the Guardian review. The Guardian is, I suppose, the paper of note in England. It's the liberal paper, it's the intellectual paper. And they said it was a great film. But they finished like this. McDonagh steers us back and forth along the west coast of Ireland, veering between the profane and the sacred, the damned and divine. We know where this is headed, whether we like it or not. Your best advice, and this is my advice as well, is to sit back, hang on to your rosary beads, and enjoy the ride while it lasts.